Okay, I shouldn't be telling you this, but every single open source or free AI model that you've heard of is actually not open source. It's open weights, and we need to talk about this confusion. So every AI model is made up of three parts. Firstly, you have the weights. These are the numbers that store everything that the model has really learned. Then you have the code, which is the actual pipeline of the model, and you have the training data. This is the definition that was put out by the Open Source Initiative, and this is the same body that has been declaring projects as open source since day one. To get the open source license, you basically need to check all of these three parameters. But here's what actually happens in practice. You take any of the popular open source models out there like DeepSeek, Qwen, Llama, Kimi-K. All of these models have published their weights. So you can technically run these models and fine-tune them. But we don't know the training data that has gone into these models. And that's why they're not totally open source. In fact, Llama even caps commercial use at 700 million monthly active users. And then you need a separate agreement to use that model. And that is just not the definition of open source. True open source, and I know my fellow developers out there will know this, means total transparency. You get the code, you get the weights, you get the training data, you get everything so that you can recreate the model. But most of these models out there are open weights, not open source. So is there any actual open source model out there? Well, I found one example. It's called Olmo by this company called Allen AI. They've released the weights, the code, and the training data set, and a whole list of logs on how the training went. If you're deploying AI at a company, open weight means you can self-host that model and run it in your premises, but you're still trusting a huge black box that you can't fully audit. So the next time you see an open source model, just ask yourself, did they release the training data? If not, then this is an open weight model and not an open source model. My name is Simran, and I love talking about AI and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.